Congressman, let me just take it from another angle then. Is there anything that Congress can do about this?
Well, not really, because the agreement, which was written literally back in the 1950s, was written between the state of Michigan and Enbridge. Okay, so there's not a federal oversight role here other than to look from a safety standpoint through our federal agencies. So this really has to be between the state of Michigan and Enbridge, and it's okay. If the government really took an honest look at the pluses and minuses of building the tunnel, I believe she would be very wise to throw her support entirely behind the project and the tunnel. And I'll tell you why. Number one, it's the right thing to do for your constituents. But guess what? I think it's time we built a second tunnel under the Straits of Mackinaw that could take the biggest semi that travels the road. And there's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, as the governor of Michigan, she is responsible for moving goods and services in the event of a disaster, an emergency. And let's say that you have to do that. The governor calls out the National Guard, and just for the sake of discussion, the Mackinac Bridge is closed for high winds, ice falling, accident. What do you do? So the governor could really get a big win when it comes to keeping Michiganders safe and secure if she went ahead and supported this tunnel. So now I can get involved at a future time as a second tunnel, because that would be part of the interstate system. So it's a win-win.
And is there some serious discussion or proposals for a second tunnel like that?
Well, not yet. And some people are hearing this for the first time, although there have been low-level discussions about infrastructure here across the United States and how do we do the right thing for all of our citizens. But when you think about the interstate system and what it provides for our country, safety and security, a second tunnel, by the way, tunneling is not new. It's been going on for thousands of years. And we have an opportunity to kind of do a test project in what it's going to cost to build the first tunnel. And Enbridge is going to foot that bill. But now it allows me as a congressman for Northern Michigan to help with funds and a plan to build a second tunnel.
Now, a question in a similar vein. Obviously, we have the Biden administration. The Secretary of Energy happens to be former governor of Michigan, Jennifer Granholm. Does she have any role in this at all? Any pressure that she can bear or not bear?
Well, I think in her role, she will have not necessarily oversight, but she will probably get a chance to make comment on some of the environmental issues. So I'm confident and hopeful that Secretary Granholm will see the wisdom in building the tunnel, especially when it comes to environmental safety.
So they'll have an impact in terms of the future plans for the tunnel, but they won't have a say on this immediate crisis issue. Is that right?
That is correct. I mean, environmental studies have pretty much all been finished. There's always the chance that somebody could propose something else. Well, let's take a look at this. But most of the, if not all of the major environmental study pieces have already been done.
Absolutely. What do you see happening we're almost in May right now. Do you have any predictions about what's going to happen?
Yeah. The only prediction I would have is that the state of Michigan, under Governor Whitmer's leadership, they can have such a positive effect for the entire state, and especially in the people in the Upper Peninsula, to provide the necessary propane, but also to provide the commerce necessary to rebuild our economy after a year of COVID. So I'm just hoping that the governor will take advantage of this opportunity. It's the right thing for Michiganders, so therefore she should be behind it.
We're going to continue our discussion with Jack Bergman. He is the current congressman for Michigan's 1st District, encompassing the Upper Peninsula. After this break, please stay with us.